What's poppin', y'all? One of the premier faces of the SoundCloud movement, SoundCloud rap movement scene, if you want to call it that, of 2017, 2018, Lil Skies has delivered some bombshell news.
I was about to get a job, bro, like a couple years ago, just cause I'm like, I ain't got no shows. I ain't had no shows in like 6 months. Sitting at the crib, I'm spending all my money. I ain't making. Nigga, guess where I applied at? Dollar General. And guess what? It wasn't no shame in my game. I walked out that bitch, my head up high, just like this. Because, bro, I told you, like, I'm a hustler, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna eat somehow, some way. I'm gonna eat, bro.
So I think that he completely hustled the game with this one, because this interview, it teaches us a bunch of different things. Number one, we're first going to talk about Lil Skies, rap money, and all of that. So you see Lil Skies right here. You see he's got jewelry on. You see he's doing this interview. And you also see that he is saying that he applied to Dollar General. Now, Lil Skies, I do believe that he probably spent a ton of money, but Lil Skies moved back to Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, where he's from, when he had a kid and he took that long break. It cannot be that expensive to live there. We got any Waynesboro folk here or any people in that surrounding area? It cannot be that expensive. Granted, now when you have habits or addictions, as some may call them as rappers, you can spend through money quickly, and it's not just on the substances, but the things you buy and spend money on while on those substances and the people that you take care of and are around you. But when he says a couple of years ago he wasn't getting any shows, this is not uncommon. So in 2020, a lot of rappers, shows just stopped. And we had certain rappers that were able to get some motion that year. Like, for example, Blueberry Faygo re-blew up. It was a song that had leaked and then it officially got released. There was like a snippet of it going around and it got a ton of motion before it officially released. It was pretty much a hit before they cleared everything and got it out there. But Lil Mosey was one of these artists that would have struggled very badly if he didn't have that hit during 2020, 2021, when these rappers weren't getting shows. And I know it's easy to look back and say, man, these rappers should have done a better job with their money so they wouldn't have to rely on shows in 2020, 2021. But let's be real here. What person, if you're a rapper, and I'll just give you numbers for a rapper that blew up in 2017, 2018, around there, that was not as big as Mosey, was not as big as Skies, like a lot smaller than those rappers, because those rappers have multiple platinum hits, multiple charting singles. This rapper was getting 30 to 35K a show when they were first blowing up. And this lasted for like at least a year and a half. And the bookings are consistent. So you're getting feature money. You're not really relying on features. That's the thing. When rappers have the highest money they can demand for features, you have to play this weird game where you can't give too many features because then that dilutes the value of a feature. And you also don't want to give out much of any features because your image and who you're associated with and how poppin' you're already popping on your own. You want to preserve that. So there's this, maybe, and then the people that you do want to give features to, you want to work with. So you end up doing swaps, or you just hand them a feature and you guys collaborate and you don't charge them. So features is something that I would say really only street rappers get the biggest bag out of, like a Kevin Gates, a Boosie, what's the other guy's name? 42 Doug. I'm just giving a different region, for instance, because these guys, they chill with and they hang out with and they have fans that are trappers. So they'll pull up to different cities when they're doing their club walkthroughs and all that. And the trappers of the city that want to be rappers, or the trappers that are backing the rappers, are like, yo, 10, 15 bands here, cut a feature for my man's right here that's trying to build up a rap career. And they'll do that maybe 1, 2, 3 in a night, maybe even more. And they'll consistently do that over different cities. Whereas for SoundCloud rappers or just regular industry rappers that aren't street related, don't have a street fan base, they can't really do that as much. Like, for instance, 24K Golden, in an interview that I did with him in 2021 or 2022, I think, He was talking about how he had done a feature for 150K for a different genre. Like they saw like, yo, this guy has a bunch of hits. We want a feature from this guy, and they paid out. They paid out the behind for it. So Lil Skies, yeah, I don't think we can really knock rappers for not being prepared for a global pandemic that was going to shut down all shows entirely. Can't really blame them too much for that. However, with Little Skies, I think this was all a play on getting attention. Because I had checked out Little Skies a week, just 7 days before this interview started going everywhere. I was like, yo, let me check out what Little Skies has been up to. I had checked out on Mosey because Mosey's been dropping some good stuff too. Little Skies had taken not a break, but not much has happened. I wanted to check out what happened after his last album, The Evolution of the Rose, which I listened to a couple of joints on here. The streams on here aren't half bad. But I see that he released 2 songs. I was like, okay, let's see what it sounded like. Dog, these are good songs. They both got music videos. No Fear is really prime Skies. And I was going to write a tweet about it and say, like, yo, Skies is getting kind of slept on right now. He's dropping some really good stuff. But I don't know what happened. Maybe I got lazy. I just didn't end up tweeting it. And then I see this happen. But during this entire interview, which is about an hour and 40 minutes long, he talks about how he's studying the game.
What I do all night is I just be on YouTube, everything, and I just be studying this, bro, the game. Like, I study this, and this go around, it's like, like, once I get, you feel me, I got some like, I'm about to start basically funding myself, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to start renting my own venues and throwing my own shows, shit like that. Like, what do I need this promoter for? For what? Why?
It's the way to do it.
Why? And I can do this.
Back to you.
I've been doing it so long. Like, why? Even me just coming out here, I wouldn't even be out here right now. I booked my flight Monday, my manager's flight, engineer's flight, Airbnb, driver, everything. What do I need to get done? And I look at it as like, yo, I'm a grown ass man. It feels weird, like, like relying on somebody. I know this is your job title or whatever, but I'm not throwing shit at nothing. Like, I got a good manager. You feel me? I'm just saying, like, it's just like, yeah, bro. I don't know. Different, bro. It's different, bro. The whole game, bro. This is why I tell people you gotta study this. Even everybody doing podcasts, all this.
Podcast.
Like, bro, you have to study what's going on because everything is changing. It's not the same.
100%.
None of it is the same no more. None of it, bro. The internet, it could do this, that, and the third, everything, and it's like, it's harder now to get that spot because for one, everybody's like, even it's the podcast. It's rappers that don't even rap. It ain't even rappers technically right now. These is streamers?
Yeah.
Streaming now.
And they make music for the stream.
They ain't even making music no more because the streaming paying better than rap. They ain't getting booked, bro.
Facts.
Realistically, like, look, a lot of niggas ain't getting booked for shows. When you see a lot of rappers in the club, them just got a section. Yeah. They ain't get paid to be there. Like, niggas not getting booked for shows, bro. It's so crazy for me. Like, even what's today? Right now it's Tuesday. If I post a flyer today and be like, show Friday at the Roxy or whatever, I probably saw that shit out, no cap. And it blows my mind.
Mm-hmm. Quick.
Like,
100%.
how?
Quick.
How?
100%, bro.
Like, and it blows my mind, but it's just because of, I don't know. I asked him before, and he's just like, bro, it's the connection. You make me feel like at home and heart, like I can relate to you. It's like, it's different.
So here you hear him talking about his comeback this time around. And he's saying like, yo, I'm about to be on this comeback. I booked my driver. And this is another thing. A rapper that actually went broke down that low, I don't think that they're going to be having managers manager maybe, but hiring a driver, I think they're hopping in Ubers, man. Or I think they're renting their own car. And the manager is also going to be the driver because they're starting all over again. So, no, I don't think that this whole I went broke. He said he's been studying the game. So I think he studied and realized, like, hey, look, if I want to get attention for this stuff that I've been dropping right now, I've got to say something wild and off the wall. And Dollar General is that. And then you also see when he talks about the music aspect and why people relate to him, I think people are going to be able to relate to him even more so because he said that. He's like, yo, there's no shame in my game. I'm going to get it no matter what. I'm going to get this job if I have to, just like everybody else. And one other point that he makes that's really great is he gives these guys game on the podcast. He's like, yo, everything's changing constantly. You got to be up on game. But he says that rappers aren't getting booked for any shows and that he could sell out the Roxy this week, which just looking back at it, the Roxy, the venue, it's a 500 cap venue. Usually it's about like 300 that get in there. This venue it's a legendary LA venue, but I talked about it in a previous video. What's his name? Yeet. That's the one he sold out when he was first coming up, like first blowing up, and they had to shut it all down. So for Lil Skies to go full circle back to like flexing that he can sell out the Roxy, and I don't think like it's a hard flex because he's comparing it to most rappers from his era. They're not going to be able to sell out the Roxy, unfortunately, themselves. They just can't do it. I don't know why. Like a Lil Mosey. Can Lil Mosey do the Roxy if he just posts a flyer? Maybe. But the reason why is he wants to contrast it and say like, yo, these rappers are not getting booked like that. And this is the thing. It makes sense. If you're a booker, yeah, if you book people, actually, come in the comment section. I know we've got guys like that. If you book people, you're going to see, okay, this person brings in this many people. We get this influx of business, drinks, whatever the hell the case may be. So if they're realizing that the rapper is not bringing in people, then they're just going to go have somebody else. Like, for example, like Clavicular and that whole club situation that he did, he was clearly bringing a ton of people through the door. He was more popping and more lit. He was going to this place called Rock Bar in the beginning. I think in Fort Lauderdale. Is that where it's at? And then he eventually got his own club because he realized how much motion he was bringing to that place. So people are pulling up to these clubs based off of these influencers and these TikTokers. Why would they bring a rapper? The only reason that they brought rappers in was because rappers brought people into the club. And that was the quote show. But other than that, who is going to be booking them? Are they going to be booking their own shows and tours? No, we don't really see that happening. And I think Lil Skies is very level-headed, but there is a dangerous part later on in this interview that I need to warn him. I need to tell him to stay away from this.
Yes, I thought about it. I just don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm so on technology, bro. I really don't know what I'm doing. If somebody can help me do it, I'll stream. But then it's like, you can't expect me to be a streamer. And shit. Like you can't expect me to do it every day and all that. Cause like I ain't gonna lie, yeah. Like I don't like. What am I gonna do? Show you like if I'm doing shit like this or something cool, but if I'm just sitting in a crib or like, cause I don't play video games, and
You've never played video games?
I kind of stopped watching movies. Now I guess I'm doing like a TV shows, but I barely watch that. It's like I don't know. I'm just trying to do shit with my day.
Would you ever do something like on brand risk, like Aiden Ross's stuff? Would you ever fight someone?
Fight someone?
Like box or something?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe.
Two things. We never want to see Lil Skies with the Dollar General hat, visor, whatever it is that they have them wearing. I'd rather see him in that than ever fight on Aiden Ross's boxing card. And this is as somebody that really enjoys brand risk. No, we do not. That's a complete oral loss for Lil Skies. It doesn't matter if the bag is right. Lil Skies' music is still good. He is still good at music. He makes good music. And he has potential to make a good living off of music because I think he's learned his lessons when it comes to the rap game. But he's also talking about the streaming thing. No, we don't need to see Lil Skies stream either. Like I said, Lil Skies' music performs quite well. Like, let's just look at 2 songs he released. There's No Fear that did 336,000 streams, and we got that Make-A-Wish song that did 616,000. Now, there was more money put into these because there's a music video for both, but I don't think Lil Skies needs to invest much in his music. He can just consistently release, and it'd be good. Because, like I said, the guy is a talented rapper. He's a good artist, makes good music. That's the same can't be said about these other guys. And I don't think what are we going to see in Lil Skies' life? Like, people expect chaos. People expect like a Blueface. How can you compete as a rapper streaming when you've got Blueface? Ray J's not a rapper, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you've got personalities like these, and you're in the domain of entertainment. You can't beat them in that regard. But when it comes to good music, yeah, you can easily beat Blueface. That's for sure. So that was the first lesson that I was saying that Lil Skies taught us. But the second one has to do with the podcast, and the whole clipping is the biggest thing in the world right now. This clip went everywhere. Everybody saw this clip. Yet, how many people even saw this interview? The interview's got, well, it's actually going up a little bit, but it's got, what, 7,500? The full interview. Most people hadn't seen the interview, and their clip on YouTube of this didn't get much views at all. I think it got like a couple thousand after millions of people had already seen the clip. So Lil Skies proved that, especially if people are like, unless they're trying to have a big brand, like a No Jumper, it makes sense for a No Jumper to get clipped because No Jumper has so much brand recognition already. It's like a Nike, Coca-Cola, McDonald's type of advertisement. It's just like, hey, by the way, we're still here. And then people are, okay, awareness. Otherwise, it's out of sight, out of mind, even though No Jumper has their own fans. But if you're a mom and pop shop down the street, paying like for awareness, that doesn't work. You need conversions. You need people that are going to watch the stuff. And the clip, more people benefited from that clip than these guys themselves. And this was, I watched the entire interview here. Actually, no, I'm lying. I watched maybe like a 40 minutes of it because these guys did a very, very good job with the timestamps too. But I am going to go back and watch the full interview. There was some stuff here that people didn't even cover that Lil Skies says some really crazy and wild stuff. Well, one part is where he talks about like a rapper's life being chaos.
I don't know how to say it. It's just, yeah, it's a crazy ass life, fast life, but like that's how I live my life. It's to say, but like I'm living in chaos, bro.
Yeah, it happens. It's
Like
not
if
me,
you're a
it's the same,
rapper,
but
majority of us we living in chaos, bro. No
Yeah.
bullshit.
No, I
Like
see it.
it's crazy, bro.
I see it,
It's
bro.
fun. You have some fun times, but like, bro, no, this get real,
It
man.
does,
Like
bro. It does.
this get real. It'll break
does.
your ass
It
down,
does,
like
bro. I
to
gotta bring
another
you on
level, like real. That's why you see niggas chill, like niggas fall back, like fuck that.
Yeah.
I'd rather go work at Amazon right now, like,
Yeah.
bro, no bullshit.
And this was the minute leading up to the clip that got spread everywhere about Dollar General. And it's rappers living in chaos. And when you think about it, who is the biggest rapper in the game right now? Other than Drake, obviously, but even bigger than Drake, globally speaking. It's Ye. And who embodies chaos more than Ye? Throughout his entire career. I mean, you've got Henny Bottle, Bald Head, Amber Rose. You guys realize how insane it was at that time period for a Ye to date a bald head stripper? A bald head. That's already very, very, very out there. And he did that. And then you've got chaos after chaotic event after chaotic event. You've got the Mercedes-Benz Stadium making a whole album in there whilst live streaming it. Just absolute instability for the longest period of time. And I don't think you can effectively create something that's going to resonate with people if you're not doing, like when Wayne was off of everything, his life was chaos. When he was making the best music, he was skating every day. He was off the lean. He was on tour constantly. He was just doing everything. Like there was no stability. And I think producers, they benefit a little bit more from stability. But for artists, I think it's chaos and then come back for a little bit. Chaos, come back for a little bit. Because they have to have this balance of what to make music about and emotions. And for there to be a range of emotions, you can't have just a flat line of a stable, regular, everyday life. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. If you listen to these recent Lil Skies songs, let me know what you thought of them. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.